Kermit, which I don't know if you're familiar with Kermit, but the K in Egyptian, that's where it comes from, KKK. It's silent, and it was a silent hand way back then. So it was like the silent hand you can't see, magic, because you wouldn't know what was going on, you know. Especially with electronics, you can't see electrons go back and forth. So that's like the silent hand. And I think that's part of why they didn't want me learning the Apple iProgramming class. So, anyways, right here, he's right. We got a conflict of interest, and like I said, whether he's helping or hurting, we'll soon find out. It says we want from the very beginning. It is fair and open, transparent accreditation process. Yeah, I think anything that should be open should be very, everything should be in the open. This accreditation process, the whole thing, to me, even though they're saying they want it fair and open, it's really a bullshit story and bullshit scam. And we're using big words now because it's bringing the comedy. It's also, too, it's going to help in the ridicule. But also, the word on the street is that people need to get up and start doing things. There's word on the street that there is groups out there that, that are coming together. There's things happening already towards this group, and with the current things lately with the Ebola, all these different things where they want to just get rid of Americans, it's something that's starting to happen now. So that's why we're stepping this thing up. We're explaining. Me personally, I've been following history for a long time. I know, and I've seen mafia forces, cartel forces. They are actively moving. So, I prefer America, where they are the organized crime, and the Americans and the American system, including our politicians, aren't part of that, or aren't part of their own organized crime. And that is the best, fair, and just system I've seen throughout history, that the balance. When we have our side that are supposed to be for the people, when they're corrupt, and exactly this right here, what we're just talking about, there's no justice for nobody. Any child is at risk. Any person can be, hurt, and that's kind of what's going on with this, their government Ebola. So, in finishing this story, what we want from the very beginning is fair, open, and transparent accreditation. We talked about that. This is a teacher talking. That's what we have been asking for from the very beginning. Professor Timothy Kelly said, we think AJ needs to be held accountable for unfair and illegal practices. I am working myself on forming a class lawsuit against them. Not only for this one, but for all of them. I'm sure there's many cases. No one is above the law, and that's the honest to God truth. And that you can see that in case law. We have the people versus Richard Nixon. Nobody's above the law, and I think the people just need to step up. In an 8-page ruling, October 8th, Karnoff medically reviewed the ACCJCs, JCs. You'd be surprised what this means. It actually doesn't mean what it's saying, the accrediting commission. All these acronyms are things for the people that are enlightened, that are part of this Anglo-Saxon Protestant, or this specific group that's saying they want to control everything. They have specific words, like the WASC stands for, not what they're saying, but it stands for White Anglo-Saxon Catholics. The WASP stands for White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. At many of the different colleges, they have groups called SWAS. And they've been advertising it. And anybody who knows about this underground group, the KKK, Aryan Brother, whatever you want to call it. And I've lived in a place where there's been tons, and I've known a lot of people that have been a part of that, have dealt with some of that, but more so that they kind of were around that area, and you can look it up for yourself. It's swastika, and that's how they kind of communicate to each other in secret code. one of the biggest things I think with the secret code is that they are able to talk, and also too they advertise when they kill people. So if you see things on people's clothes they're wearing, and when they're killing them, initially, if you look at the picture, a lot of times you can tell now they're kind of people are coming to wear it, so they're not being so bold and high and mighty. But they would advertise. In Fresno, California, they had many cases where they would advertise the people with their things, like at Fresno State, SAWS. They would say it's soccer, but it wasn't. You know, they have it other places. You just have to look, and you'll see the information. So, and continue with this. Said the city attorney of San Francisco filed an opposition on September 24th, brief refuting their ACCJ's immunity argument. Attorney Sarah Eisenberg maintained that the trial is about ACCJC's procedural violations and wrongful decisions making, for which the state was blameless. So this is kind of where the battle is going to be kind of going on here. We have one side saying that they can discredit City College, which I looked up, and then the Board of Education says that they don't do the accrediting. They say they refer it off, but the overall guidelines they have is for fair and quality education. So just right here in that, this ACCJC is, you know, you don't have to prove one case to discredit it. You don't have to prove one case to make it null and void. And part of the thing is the Department of Education is actually the accrediting body. It's not these organizations, even though it says on its website. You can look in the law, you can look in different things. When the Department of Education was formed and Congress formed it, it was for, think about it, create an education system. So the reason why they're pushing it off is that they have some people and they're pulling the strings that are part of the motherfucker to get, as they call it. You like that? I like it too. Let's get that motherfucker. Or let's just turn them on to the mob. Get him and his kids. I'm just teasing about that, but it sounds funny to say. But on the other side, you know, they say, and your little dog too. All right, so let's see. Okay, so